All right, in this podcast, I'm going to show how to take a radio and set it up as a hotspot so people can use their cell phones, laptops, tablets, whatever it may be able to get to the internet. And the radio that we're going to use is this one right here. So let's get on over to, let me set this over here. Get out of my way. Now this is set as the factory settings. So if you already had the radio programmed for something else, be sure to reset it and set your network on your computer or laptop to the IP of 192.168.1, let's say 50, because the default on these are 192.168.120. So let's go ahead and get to the, all right. And apparently they fixed the bookmark hiding on Chrome. I can use Chrome now. I sent in a ticket per se to let them know that it was not working. Well, I got up this morning and started checking to set up things to do videos, and it's actually working now. So let's go to advanced, and it is by default UBNT, UBNT, and we'll go here. Of course, it's going to ask you to do the password. So we're going to go to the first tab, and pretty much the only thing you need to do here is name it whatever you need to name it. If you're going to use WISP, set your time. We're not going to do all that here. We're just going to go on to the next one and set your time and set your ID for WISP if you're going to use it. Then we're going to go here and we're going to set this up as a bridge. Then we go over to wireless. So pretty much up to this point, unless you're going to get it to show up in your software, nothing really needs to be changed. Now, of course, we have to go back here and change the password, but let's go ahead and go to the wireless. We're going to set this up as a access point. And we're going to set this on 20 hertz. We're going to set this on the 23. We're going to turn this all the way down because it's sitting right here. And then we're going to put in a password, and we're going to use the good old magical password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I'm going to say change that, and there's the password. So it's going to be UBNT, and then we're going to put in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to use the same thing as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. As long as the keyboard it's not taking it for some reason. It is a wireless keyboard, so battery might be a little weak, so it can't type as fast as I'm actually typing on it. So let's change that. Then we go to the main. There's nothing here to change. We go to here. This is one thing you definitely have to do. You have to turn off Air Max. And say change that. wireless, and you have to have it on 20 hertz because that's what the devices will work on. And the frequency, not all frequencies here. Now I've tested from like the 5835 all the way down to 5165 and found that some of them will not work. So I always set mine on, let's see, where is it? 5200 is what I set mine on. Now you can go in there and test different ones and open up your Wi-Fi on your phone and see if it shows up and see if you can log in. Because each time they update, they may change the frequencies that it actually works on. They may take some out, they may add some more. Now you can go online and find what Wi-Fi frequencies is used in like regular routers, like channel 1 through like 12 or 15, how many channels they have on the router. You can look up and see what frequencies that uses and narrow it down even more. But I always set mine on 5200. It's one that I found that works, and as long as there's nothing else in the area with that frequency, I have no issues, which so far I haven't. So we're going to say change that. Then let's see. And I always like to leave this as the same address. That way I have access to it after I make the changes. So we're going to go ahead and say apply. And we're going to let that take. And then while it's changing the configurations in there, I'm going to take my cell phone and start looking on Wi-Fi and wait for it to actually show up. And the Wi-Fi, I just left it as default. You want to change the SSID of what people look for, like if it's a certain company, a certain park, or whatever it may be, you can change that right there. You can name it whatever. I just left it as UBNT. And go on my Wi-Fi. Let the camera focus. You see UBNT is listed right there. It's right. Let's see. I can get it to where is it? Yeah, it's trying to connect to UBNT. Come on, camera. There you go. See, it's looking for it. It's trying to connect, but it does not have internet, so the cell phone will automatically, at least the way I got mine set up, it will not connect. It will just stop trying, and then it will connect to another one if it's another one in the area that it has internet. Because the cell phone don't have internet on the Wi-Fi, it will not connect. So that will be all it takes to set up one of these radios as a Wi-Fi. Now I go plug in, instead of plugging into the computer to configure it, I plug it into a router. It will get its own IP because I have it set as here. I have it under the network. I have it set as DHCP. So it will pick up a IP from whatever router that you actually plug it into. It makes it a lot easier that way. Instead of putting it static, you have to be on the router with the same IP. But if you put it on DHCP, you just plug it in and it's going to start sending out Wi-Fi with that SSID and that password. So that's all it takes to set up a radio as a Wi-Fi hotspot. And the version of the firmware on here is XWV 6.3.6. Now, if you got one after that and it don't set up, it's probably because they changed some features actually in the firmware. But as of 6.3.6, this will work. So thanks for watching, and I will try my best to keep making videos like this for the podcast, showing things that I've done out in the field that has helped me, things I've learned, just to possibly help somebody that's doing the same thing, or somebody wanted a good, powerful hotspot out in a certain area. They can buy one of these and actually get it set up. Now, just because your cell phone can pick up the Wi-Fi as a hotspot from here, don't mean it's going to work, because them radios put out signals a lot longer distance than a cell phone or laptop or tablet can. So both of them have to communicate with each other. Just because you can receive it, but your device might not be able to send a signal back, so it may not work. There is a limitation of how far away from a Wi-Fi you can be with your device and still get it to work. Just because it picks up a Wi-Fi don't mean it's going to work. We all know, probably has had that experience. You see a free Wi-Fi and you try to log into it and it tries to connect, nothing. And it says it's connected, but it don't do anything. It's probably because you're receiving, because the Wi-Fi is strong enough to get to you, but your device is not strong enough to get back to it, so it can't communicate. So you just have to get closer and be able to get your device to communicate back. You can't have a one-way conversation. Devices don't like that. But that's how you set it up as a hotspot. Now I need to set this back to factory, program it for a client, and set up a router as well, and get out of here and go get them some internet. I'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you for watching.